Welcome back to the Sly Guy TV. You're watching the Sly Guy, Kaboom, kaboom, the death of vintage kaboom. Oh yeah, kaboom, eh. Here we go. Oh, yeah, yeah. Going fine, it's going fine. It is the vintage vine, vintage wine. It just smells like vintage wine. Then we're coming back from school. I bet the teachers think we're cool, but now we're going up to stay up late. Gonna call up all the friends and watch the movie till the end. Then we'll never go to bed. Yeah, going out for some pizza and beer. She's so fine and the night sky is clear. Coming down and our parents won't know. Going right down to the rock show. Going out tonight. The only thing that feels so right. We're walking hand in hand, pretending we're trending. Going out tonight. We're gonna have another fight. I know what's going down, pretending we're landing. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Sly Guy TV. Sly Guy. So basically, we look at the death of a legacy format and, of course, other vintage formats. So, what happens if your game pieces become so hard to find that people are just buying them and storing them away and treating them just like investment pieces instead of all-important game pieces? Then what happens is you are in a format where you are constantly priced out. You are in a format which is basically pay to win, and if you do not pay the scalpers high prices for their full playsets of dual lands, powerful artifacts, demonic tutors, pre-modern Ursa Saga super expensive cards, then you, my friend, are priced out of one of the most controversial formats ever, which would be known as Legacy and Vintage. Of course, Legacy and Vintage, their staples are these guys, the dual lands. So, if you guys do not have duels, you are going to be stuck with shock lands. You are going to be stuck with tap duels, triomes, fetch lands, and you will not be able to go up against decks which have reasonably more powerful mana bases just like the dual lands. Oh, but I use Blood Moon, you say. Oh, but I use that Merfolk which acts like a Blood Moon or Winter Moon. And I use 4 copies of Wasteland to wasteland all their dual lands away, you say. Well, basically not all decks are aggro decks. Not all decks have answer to dual lands. And most of the most powerful combo decks utilize color. They utilize multicolor rainbow domain strategies in order to win. When was the last time that you destroyed something with a Chaos Orb? You know, I was curious because I couldn't really flip it because I was afraid I was going to damage the card, but let's try flipping it to see if we can destroy something with Chaos Orb. Boom! Ha! I destroyed all your lands thanks to Chaos Orb. I've won the flip, basically. So, imagine a world where you can actually use duels. A place where they reprinted duels to the point that you can use them in Standard, you can use them in Historic, you can use them in Pioneer, you can use them in Modern. I mean, dual lands are going to be the benchmark for all types of dual color strategies out there. This is going to be the benchmark for everything, and in a place where people are using dual lands as stocks and bonds, cryptocurrency, then I don't think we're gonna have a reasonable place to play, which is why basically in Europe, in western parts of Europe where vintage is huge, Okay, a place where vintage is basically huge, counterfeiting is very, very rampant because people just want to play the game. They don't want to spend money on these actual cards. Because, I mean, look at this. This is like a $500, $600 dual land right now. I wouldn't have them in top loaders if they weren't this expensive. Back then, these guys were like $5 each. $5 for a dual land, and then $10 eventually later. If people wanted them, you just had to absolutely wait. So if you had a bunch of these sitting around way back in the 90s, you were lucky because you would basically hit gold once you sell them today. Although, if you're using them, I highly advise selling them because the moment that you sell them today, if you want to buy them back in the future, you're going to spend an arm and a leg just to get these particular dual lands back. So, basically, that's it. I mean, Legacy and Vintage, they're basically dead formats now. You've got Old School in Europe, which is very proxy dominated, but here in the Philippines or in the US, I mean, they're basically dead formats. Sure, you're gonna have a very hard time finding another player playing a Power Vintage deck. And if you're using Power 9, good luck, because you won't be able to. Good luck in finding somebody who wants to play with you, because you won't be able to find another player going against that kind of power, unless you're playing Commander, which has one of the whiniest players in the world. So I try to avoid Commander altogether. What do you guys think? Is Vintage and Legacy truly dead? Comment below. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Once again, Sly Guy TV with the Sly Guy signing off for us.